I got out of work early today and I have a membership at the Botanical Gardens, so figured I'd stop by. It's rarely quite as dynamic in the winter. The American hose and barrel. The rarely seen walking orange bush. For obvious reasons, although it's very beautiful. Some of the ground cover stuff is fantastic, and I actually kind of like the tan brown grasses in their sort of dormant state. But it's much quieter and it's very pleasant. The birds are very nice. It is a really good salve for anxiety. So many wintry botanical delights. I haven't seen that before. That's why you keep coming back, because there's always something new. Alright. Time to face rush hour.
Controversial. Hottest and controversial. That's hilarious.
So it sure looks like there's a fire up in the foothills. Doesn't look real big yet, though there's a lot of smoke. It's hard to tell. Looking right into the sun. Greetings, my fellow residents of this pale blue dot. What is going on with the Environmental Protection Agency? Today in the news on BBC and CNN and the New York Times and too many other places to count, the head administrator of the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency here in the United States, decided that he would not agree that carbon dioxide was a major contributor to climate change. This was a guy who tried to challenge the federal government on the issue of environmental regulations back when he was the Attorney General of Oklahoma, and now he's leading the entire department. First, let me give you a quick rundown on what the EPA does for us. The Clean Air Act banned the use of cancer-causing pesticide DDT, cut back on raw sewage flowing into America's streams and rivers, got rid of lead in most gasoline. The Safe Water Drinking Act helped create national standards limiting water pollution by industry, monitored fuel economy standards, catalytic converters, established controls over hazardous waste in order to cut back on midnight dumping, banned CFCs in most aerosol cans, established rules for toxic waste cleanup. I'm out of fingers, and that's 10 things right there. And they did all that in the 70s. They banned the dumping of sewage sludge into the ocean, created policies to encourage manufacturers to create safer pesticides, more than tripled the rate of recycling of the nation's trash between 1970 and 1993. Biggest reduction of air toxins in U.S. history, Superfund cleanup, established guidelines for protecting us from radioactive waste. The list goes on and on. But the one thing that some people can't seem to stand is the idea that the EPA knows what they're talking about when it comes to climate change. See, Scott Pruitt doesn't believe that carbon dioxide is a major contributor to global warming. But it doesn't matter what he believes. That's not how science works. The job of science isn't to tell you whether or not there's an afterlife or who, if anybody, created the universe. That's not what science does. These are things that sit outside the realm of what we can reliably predict and test. Science is about discovering and organizing knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. When I throw the pen up in the air, it comes back down again. Every time. 8, 9, 10. Every time. Now maybe 1 out of every 1,000 or million, it gets stuck up in a tree. But that's the exception to the rule. That's the one time out of a zillion that things don't go as planned. When that happens, we don't say, ha, it's wrong, gravity doesn't exist. We say, that's an anomaly. Because when every other time the pen that goes up comes back down, you can reliably say there is some sort of force causing it to come back down. And that's what we call gravity. And we call it a theory. Dictionary.com has a nice little definition of a scientific theory. A coherent group of propositions formulated to explain a group of facts or phenomena in the natural world and repeatedly confirmed through experiment or observation. Repeatedly confirmed through experiment or observation. Basically, we know these things to be true because they happen again and again and again. The job of science is just to explain to us how things happen in the natural world. And so when Scott Pruitt says he doesn't believe that carbon dioxide is a major contributor to global warming, and yet there is a century worth of evidence to prove otherwise, he is wrong. That's a dangerous thing to have the head of the Environmental Protection Agency be someone that completely disregards science. In a fantastically timely fashion, the periodical Popular Science, just a few hours before I shot this vlog, put out an article called 6 Irrefutable Pieces of Evidence That Prove Climate Change is Real. I'm going to read just a few of those to you, and I'll put a link down below. The amount of CO2 in our atmosphere. The safe level of CO2 in our atmosphere is about 350 parts per million. Currently, we're at over 400 parts per million. And the majority of that CO2 is a result of fossil fuel emissions. We make that. We burn that. That's sunlight stored up from millions of years ago. Here's another one. Global mean sea level is on the rise at a rate of 3.4 millimeters per year. That might not sound like a lot, but it is. It affects coasts and islands around the world. Or how about temperature? 2016 was the hottest recorded year on record. Global average temperatures reached 1.69 degrees Fahrenheit over 20th century averages. This drives major weather patterns in the world. Hurricanes, typhoons, wildfires, tornadoes, thunderstorms, hail, drought, which is also on the list. Look, that's just 3 things off the list of 6. You can go and read the rest for yourself. These aren't things that somebody made up and decided, oh, these sound like things that are happening because it feels this way. They're real. They're scientifically proven. There's links in the article to where you can go find out their methodology, their results. If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. I'm trying to provide plenty of resources here to help you out. So when you hear somebody say they don't believe in climate change, or they don't believe that carbon dioxide is contributing, or they don't believe that humans are in any way responsible, look to the science, not to what some people believe, because that's the difference. You can believe anything you want to, but when I throw the pen in the air, it's not going to stop it from coming back down. Thank you for checking out my NanoVlog. If you find anything that I'm talking about interesting or useful, I encourage you to click the like button down below, and please click the subscribe button so that I can keep you up to date on more information about the environment or the arts or my beautiful city of Denver. As always, remember, it's the little things that count.